Morning, guys. How we going? Look, guess look. It's bright, isn't it? I think Jeff got me this. Jeff Powell, I think. I tell you what, it's bloody comfy. So, welcome to Defending Elvis. Thank you for joining me. Got a bit of a headache this morning. Um, I've got myself a cup of tea. Ella's just woke up. Ella, come say hello. Just wake up. Ella, go. I always open the door for her. Oh, you're gonna go have a wee wee. Off she goes. Off she goes. She's always one of the first to wake up. The rest are asleep. I'm sure there'll be some noises. So yesterday, I did a good hour on Jailhouse Rock, one of my favourite films, if not my favourite. I've got many favourites, but Jailhouse Rock, King Creole. But then yesterday I discussed all my other favourite. So this is a video in the background of the unboxing. It must be like a collector's, what do they call it? The making of Jailhouse Rock unboxing. So I wanted to see if I could find any old footage of just anything that's unusual. So just the quick basics. It was released on October the 17th, 1957. Then by Metro Goldwyn Mayer. The director was Richard Thorpe. Producer was Pandro S. Berman. Screenwriter was Guy Trosper. It ran for approximately 96 minutes. It's classed as a musical drama. It was the spring of 1957, so it was his third movie, wasn't it? So I think this eclipsed everything. So it was the most successful by far. It put him as a mega movie star, didn't it? It was such a massive success. Says here the budget was $1 million to make it. The box office did $8 million. Does that sound right to you? It says here it's one of eight, making it one of Elvis's biggest early film successes. By early 1957, Elvis was 22 years old, but had already become America's biggest star, definitely, in so many ways. Right, I need my cup of tea, guys. Need my tea. I'm definitely not awake yet. I'm half asleep. So now it's talking about the songs. He had massive hits with Heartbreak Hotel, Love Me Tender and Loving You were the films before. I think we discussed all this yesterday. I mean, Loving You is free on YouTube, guys. So is Love Me Tender. Let's have a look. So it says here, there was an increasing pressure from manager Colonel Tom Parker to build Elvis into a Hollywood movie star. The film would provide steady income even if touring eventually slowed down. I mean, the bits I've read is that Elvis wanted to be in the movies. You know, it was one of his dreams. He dreamed of being like Marlon Brando, James Dean, those kind of actors. Yeah. Let's have a look. Elvis wanted roles that had depth. Yeah. So we know that in this movie he plays Vince Everett, a young construction worker who is accidentally killed as a man while defending a woman in a bar fight and has to go to prison. Then he meets Hunk Houghton, who is a guitar teacher, who teaches him how to sing guitar, who is not actually a guitar teacher. He's a sort of B singer, isn't he? A former country singer, that's it. And he teaches us how to play the guitar. Vince pursues his music career after leaving prison. He has massive success. Success goes to his head. Becomes quite arrogant, quite selfish. Then he has a relationship with Peggy Van Alden. Obviously, that story is Judy Tyler is just heartbreaking. She dies in a car crash within days of the finishing of the filming of Jailhouse Rock, which is like, wow, it's like, how horrible. You can't even imagine what Elvis went through and what her family went through. Just shocking. I'm just sad that Elvis went through that. That's how I feel, yeah. So then it says, compared with many later Elvis films, Jailhouse Rock is a darker, more dramatic film. I agree. There's more acting here. This is more uh, what Elvis was hoping for. A bit like Rebel Without a Cause. Yeah, the James Dean film. It's just edgy. Yeah. Of course, the title song, Jailhouse Rock, to me, is one of the most famous Elvis songs ever. The dance sequence, which, as far as I know, Elvis helped choreograph, is probably one of the most iconic, legendary moments in Elvis's history, and it's still very with us today, isn't it? Yeah. Many historians consider the first modern rock and roll music video. Yeah, I agree. The first modern rock and roll MTV. It's a sort of prison dance sequence, isn't it? It's quite well choreographed. There's elaborate camera movements, multiple rehearsals, energetic editing. It's just the way it all comes together. It's just wow. Yeah, you can't not watch it, can you? Even now, if I put it on now, you'd be all like, right. So, many later performers, including Michael Jackson and Madonna, have been noted as drawing inspiration from the idea of telling the story through a choreographed song sequence. Yeah, it tells a story. Yeah, come on, Elvis is a trendsetter. He transforms everything. He affects everything, doesn't he? His impact is like boom. Look what I can do. And then everyone copied. Isn't that about right? Many critics consider this Elvis' finest acting role. It's definitely one of 100%. I said this yesterday. There is a place for the movies that Elvis went on to do in the 60s in all of our hearts. Because for me, definitely as a child, discovering these films is all part of how I discovered Elvis. Even though I found Elvis because an old record was in my dad's cupboard around 1972. I just can't help believing. But then that led me to, going to the newsagents, getting his magazines, putting a poster on my wall, and then looking for his films on TV, on the reruns of the films. Then I was obsessed with Elvis. I had to watch everything Elvis. I wanted to know everything Elvis, And it just had that impact on me, I keep saying it, transformed. As soon as I discovered Elvis, I was like, oh, yeah, just everything changed. I've never changed back. And I was like 4 or 5. Yeah, it's like many of you are like that as well. Many of you that have shared your stories with me say the same story. Yeah, let me just go back this while I'm talking. I'll put it back on again, guys. So then it says, unlike several later films, he played a flawed character, Vince, who was unlikable. He isn't portrayed as perfect. The role allows Elvis to show anger, ambition, and vulnerability. His nature, confidence, fit the character perfectly. Definitely does. So then Judy Tyler, it's just so sad. She was only 24 years old. She died in a car accident with her husband. Elvis, honestly, I'm deeply saddened, is what they say here, but can't even manage it. Imagine honestly, she's had such a high playing Elvis, playing along from Elvis. This massive successful movie that's about to go around the world. I can't get my head around the fact that she died in a car crash. Then we got Mickey Shaughnessy that's the name of the guy who played Hunk Hooten. Jennifer Holden played Sherry Wilson. Then there's all the songs on here. Jailhouse Rock, Treat Me Nice, Young and Beautiful, I Want to Be Free, Don't Leave Me Now, and Baby I Don't Care. Come on, we love these songs. I could sing every one of those songs. Brilliant song. Of course, they were a massive success as well, alongside the film. So it says here, some exterior scenes were filmed around Los Angeles but nearly all of the prison interior apartments and television studios were elaborate MGM soundstage sets. Okay. Then we've got, so it was basically filmed at MGM. Yeah. Elvis worked exceptionally hard rehearsing the musical numbers. I bet he did. You know, Elvis was a perfectionist, guys. I've learned that about him. Yeah. Unlike many later productions, the film gave him considerable freedom to inject his own movement and personality into the performances. Yeah. Which if you listen to Elvis being interviewed about Love Me Tender, he says this, he brings this up, that to really play a role well, you have to put yourself into it, rather than trying to play someone else, you have to be you playing someone else. Does that make sense? I heard that in an interview that Elvis gave. So the wording here, it says, unlike many later productions, the film gave him considerable freedom to inject his own movement and personality into the performances. Yeah, so I get that. The Jailhouse Rock dance was choreographed by Alex Romero, with Elvis contributing ideas and style that became the central to the finished routine. Sorry, guys, I'm still waking up. Yeah. And then there's something here saying, was it a controversial film? So in the 1950s, it was considered surprisingly edgy. Okay, go watch it, guys. See if you can find it. It may be on Tubi, Tubi, which is an app I use on my TV. I watched it a few weeks ago, so I got a feeling it is on there. Sometimes these films are hard to find. There's a few free films on YouTube. There's a few different apps that will have the odd Elvis film. So, there's some tough stuff in this, because you've got prison scenes, you've got some violent scenes, got Elvis being a little bit cruel. Fame has corrupted him a bit. But the music was just, honestly, guys, you can't take your eyes off every time Elvis sings. It's like, that's Elvis, So the reviews regarded it as one of Elvis's best films so far. It regularly appears near the top of his acting performances because it balances music with stronger dramatic role. I agree with that. And then it says, in the 1970s and later, Jailhouse Rock remains Elvis's most influential movie. I definitely agree with that. I think we all would agree with that. Yeah, massively influential. And it says it's one of the greatest rock and roll films ever made. I agree. Home to one of cinema's most famous musical performances. A landmark in the development of music videos and performance and choreography. Definitely. For many fans, the film historians, it represents the point where Elvis proved he could be more than just a singer appearing in movies. He could carry a dramatic feature as a leading man. I think we know this. I think all of us Elvis fans that have, you can tell Elvis had it. I don't care what anyone says. If Elvis had not died at 42, he definitely would have gone on to make some amazing films. As long as he got better, yeah, which I think he could. I think he could have done. Yeah, I don't rule out that Elvis could have got better with the right help. Obviously, he has to want to get better at, which he did. Ginger Alden shows us he was looking forward to the future. Yeah, and you know, if he had been given the more dramatic roles, I think he would have really proved himself. But at the same time, I think we'd be lost without the other movies, you know, because many of them, you know, people, this is a funny one because people don't always agree with me, but a lot of the movies that people call cheesy or girl movies, beach movies, we love them. We love them. And they show Elvis, this young, slim, healthy looking, ambitious young man doing his best, giving it 100%. And I don't know, I think we'd be lost without them. Yeah. So I don't dismiss the beach movies, the girl movie. It's more that there was room for some more dramatic roles where Elvis could prove himself, where he could within himself be pleased. Because we know in the end, eventually these movies that he was making in the 60s really upset him. You know, it's, I would say as we get to the mid 60s, Elvis is fed up with these movies, you know, clearly fed up, yeah, disheartened, even says they would make him feel physically sick because the scripts were so bad. And which is sad, you know, because you hear the interview of him saying it and what could have been that. So it says here, for many historians, it represents the point when Elvis proved he could be more than just a singer appearing in movies. He could carry a dramatic feature as a leading man. I agree with that. So you've had this playing in the background. Let's have a look. I just wanted to see. I mean, this is brilliant. This is, I don't know if any of you have got this, but it looks fantastic. I bet it's expensive. Yeah. So look at the YouTube channel is Elvis Presley Gazelle Shaft. So it's, thank you. So I just wanted to see if there was any sort of rare sort of footage of Jailhouse Rock. Just have a look. Just like something that we haven't seen before. So what's this? Elvis Presley The Making. Here we are. I haven't heard this, but obviously I've got to be careful with copyright of. If there's any music, I literally can't play it. But let's just shoot.
Was Metro Goldwyn Mayer. Colonel Parker had finalized a deal with the Giant Studio for Elvis to receive $250,000 and a piece of the profits for his portrayal of Vince Everett in Jailhouse Rock.
Oh, this looks good. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea while it plays.
Participation was a demand that only the biggest stars could make.
You know, Elvis had worked at 20th, he'd worked at Paramount, but MGM was king of the hill at that time, and I never forget as we came under those gates, I said, good God, Elvis, MGM.
I was sitting in my office the first day that he came in.
Yeah. I haven't watched this, guys. I'm going to share it. I can see it's got Greek subtitles. I can actually read that because I went to Greek school as a kid. So it says, Din brodi mera που mise φυλακάς μου είδε. I'm not very good at reading, but I can do it. It's just funny. It brings me back my memories of going to Greek school as a kid. Funny. Right, I'm going to let this play while I quickly go and make a coffee, okay?
And I got a call from the cop at the gate who said, you know, we got a real problem down here. We can't handle it. All these people are all over, and I can't handle the women. They're going crazy. And I said, well, you know, you've chased kids away before. And he said, I'm not talking about kids. I'm talking about executive secretaries out of the Thalberg building.
The first day we all went out together. Elvis and a couple of his buddies were in one car, and we were in the limousine. And when it went on the lot, secretaries and people started coming out buildings, lining this little street. And then we said, my Lord, what's going on, you know? It was amazing. It really was.
How's your headache? I'm coming all unglued. Wherever the girls thought he was, they would assemble. It was surprising how level-headed he was about it, because he was so young. And I remember distinctly when I said to Elvis, Elvis, how do you feel about all of this? Isn't it fantastic? He says, tomorrow I may.
Okay, so of course I go away and Elvis starts singing. I can't play the singing scenes. We can remove these after, but I think when it sings, I'll just turn off the I love the song, but I'm not allowed to play them, am I? So I might have got myself a coffee just brewing. I want that jumper. You know, you can actually buy that jumper. Yeah. Love it. Oh, oh, do. Love it. Right, let's get past the here we go.
Of Elvis's image.
All right.
Plays a brooding ex-con who finds himself thrust into the ultra-hip world of Hollywood.
I'm not sure how much of a chance he got to demonstrate all of his acting abilities, because the material was obviously selected to be Elvis Presley product.
Z,
You might at least ask me what happened this afternoon.
what happened this afternoon?
I sold your record, that's all.
Swell. I could tear into a good steak.
Would it hurt you just to say that you're happy about it?
Well, it wouldn't be easy. When the money starts rolling in, then I'll say I'm happy.
I don't think he was ever challenged. I don't think he ever had to play a terribly difficult scene so you could compare him to another actor.
You like burgundy? Goes great with steak.
I like anything goes with steak. I'm broke.
Well, if it's all right with you, I'll pay for the meal.
You will if we eat. Hey, waitress.
Funny thing is, at this point, he was massive, wasn't he? He was extremely wealthy, extremely famous. He had taken over the world, you know. But this is great, actually.
If you could say Elvis was ever unhappy about something, I think secretly he was very unhappy that he didn't get more of an opportunity to act. He wished they would give him a little more freedom to do other types of things, you know.
So obviously there is interviews out there now that where Elvis, in his own words, says this in an interview. If I could find that, I'd play it now. But let's just keep going.
And there was a certain drama about Jailhouse Rock, which was good for Elvis. It was a naturalness about it that made him a good actor, and it's a shame he didn't get roles that would show that off to a great advantage.
And this gets repeated again and again and again, doesn't it, guys? And we feel for Elvis because we love him. You know, we feel for him. It wasn't to be, was it? You know, I mean, well, King Creole comes, yeah. Then the army, and then of course when he comes out, GI Blues, which I think is a brilliant film. I love GI Blues, but it isn't that gritty role. It's a family-friendly film. It's a really good film. I love GI Blues, but we all fell in love with GI Blues, didn't we? We all fell in love with Elvis in uniform playing across from Juliet Prowse, who was beautiful. There's rumours that they had a bit of a fling, Elvis and Juliet Prowse. She clearly adored Elvis. Yeah, you can tell, you know, in the on-screen chemistry. But you know what this man is saying. I think Elvis fans feel that.
Most critics felt that Elvis's performance in Jailhouse Rock was the best work he had done thus far. However, not everything.
1 second, guys. Guys, my son's just woke up, so I'm going to post this as part 1, and we're gonna carry on with this part 2. We're 25 minutes in. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. Thank you for joining me, and I'll be back soon. Take care, guys. Team Elvis, you rock.